Hello and welcome. In today's video, the one you've been waiting for, we're going to be comparing 4 art supplies doing the same painting on 4 pieces of paper, the same paper. So the same painting, the same paper, 4 different art supplies. What art supplies are they, you might ask? Well, stay tuned and I will tell you. The art supplies we'll be comparing are the Faber-Castell Gelatos. These are super fun. The Marabu Art Crayons, like so. The Caran D'Ache Neocolor IIs. And last but not least, the Derwent Aquatones. Now technically, the gelatos and these art crayons are comparable supplies. They're pretty much the same thing, I would think. On the other hand, the Neocolor IIs and the Derwent Aquatones are kind of the same thing. So I should probably be comparing just the gelatos with the art crayons and just the Neocolor IIs with the Aquatones, but they are kind of similar enough products that I wanted to put them all in the same video because you put them down like a crayon or a pastel and then you add water and they kind of melt together. So that's why they're all together in this video. But anyway, we're going to compare them and see if maybe I have a preference for which one I might like the most. If I can let any go, probably not. Probably not. And maybe it'll help you make a decision if you're looking at these 4 different products to see maybe what you might like to do. In a previous video, I featured other artwork by Mona Edulesco, and I don't know if I'm saying that quite right, but I'll put the name up on the screen for you. Anyway, it's just really great artwork because it's chunky. It's basically what I used in my oil painting class to do with palette knife painting exercises. So I have a bunch of her paintings that I print out for reference in that class, and that just seemed like the perfect kind of painting for today's exercise as well, because these gelatos especially are kind of chunky. So something like this is going to be great. For the paper, I'll be using the Strathmore 500 100% cotton watercolor paper. Why? Well, I don't like this paper. I do not like it for when I do regular watercolors. So since these are kind of chunky and they go down really thickly, I thought this would be a great way to use up some of this paper that I don't like. Plus, it can hold the water that I'll put on top of it. And it's maybe going to end up being the perfect paper for this kind of medium anyway, so we'll find out. All right, let's get started. I'm so excited. To start out with, I have the photo reference here, and I printed it out the size that I like, which I think was 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. And then clear back in December of last year, December of 2021, I had Sandrine from Sandrine's Gallery, and I'll link her in the corner, if not there, the description box below, contact me because this company wanted some more users to purchase this light box. And so I did because they contacted me. Anyway, at the time, I paid $49.99 for it, and I thought that was a little high because the light box that I usually use, let me get that one for you. This one here, I can get on Amazon for $17 to $20, and this is the one that I have used for a very long time, lots of years. And I thought, well, why would I pay $49, $50 for this when I can use this one for $79? But there's a couple of key differences that I have found out that have made me very much appreciate this particular light box over this one. First of all, the size. It is quite a bit larger, and I haven't really needed anything quite this large, but I find that it's pretty pleasant to work on. The second thing is this one has little dots on it, but you see the little dots that are coming through? So the light behind it is not uniform, it's dotted. So you have 3 different levels of brightness, and that's gotten me by fine for years. It is what it is. I have to have it plugged in. This is very touch sensitive, so I usually put that power switch away from my right hand because I'm right-handed, because you run your hand over it and it's gonna turn it on and off. See, accidentally on and off. I never really thought too much about it, but then I would take both of these light boxes to class with me, the watercolor classes and the oil painting classes that I teach, because often we will trace a painting outline to make things go more smoothly and quicker. And I didn't realize it, but this one is battery operated. It is so cool. You don't have to have a power cord. And look at the light. There are no annoying dots. So there's 3 different light warmths, if you want to say that. And then this button down here is to adjust the brightness of each of those. So if I want this one, I can make it brighter, and that's as bright as it goes, and it goes back to dim. So I love that there's no annoying little dots. It's so much easier to use. and battery operated. So I brought this on my last camping trip with me when I went up to my cabin, and it is really, really handy to use. And I was using it to trace a design I had sketched out for my Patreon postcards, and they're so cute. Can't wait till my Patreons get them. But anyway, I drew the drawing once, traced it on all the postcards using this light box, battery operated, don't have to have juice when you're out camping, and was able to use that. So I just wanted to tell you that because I think I was supposed to do an Amazon review for it and never really even started using it until like 3 months ago, and I love it. It also has this clip here, which was great. When I was working on a commission piece, I could use that clip just to have more light shine behind that. Really helped me see the details of this crazy intricate drawing I was doing. So I like the clip, and it also has like a little tripod. So this somehow comes out, and then you can use this at an angle. So lots of different angles here. So that's kind of cool. They did reimburse me for purchasing this, but they did not ask me to share it on a YouTube channel. I just need to write an Amazon review, which I'll probably go do that real quick because I actually really love this. I noticed now though the price is $70, but there is a 20% off coupon. I'm looking at it on my computer screen right now. So I don't know why the price went up so high, but I guess with 20% off, you're still going to get it for about $56. So still about what I paid for it. Anyway, they paid me back. Like I said, I didn't really pay anything. What I did for these, since we're using 4 mediums, the exact same painting, I wanted them to look exactly the same. So I didn't want the, what do you want to call it, the instability of my sketching to affect these. So I put these over this on the light board and just traced the outline of Mona's original painting. And when I had the room all dark without studio lights on, let me see if that makes a difference for you guys or not. Not really, the camera can't not pick that up, but there we go, now you can see it. So I was able to trace the outlines of that original painting really easily using this light box and didn't have to deal with annoying cords all the time. Also, real quick before we start, the Caran D'Ache is the medium that I have the least amount of colors in. So this one comes with 10 colors and one is black and white, so basically 8 colors. So what I'll do is just pull out colors from the other sets that will match this. So like this one has the light blue, which will match that, but this set also has this dark blue and like this dark brown. So anyway, well, maybe the light brown is the one that needs to go. I'll pull those out and make sure that between all 4 of these mediums, I'm just using basically the 8 colors the Caran D'Ache have, plus the black and the white. And here are the closest matches I could come up with for each of them. And we're doing pretty good except the greens, and the reds are a little ambiguous. And the red in the Derwent Aquatone definitely is more orange than the others, but it's the only red that I have in the Derwent. So we're going with that. And the only brown in the gelatos is more of a dark brown, but I need a brown. Well, I may not need a brown, but I am going to use that one for the brown to go along with all of these. So you can kind of see how similar they are. And for this one, the gelatos, I could choose between this kind of yellow ochre one and a more orangey one, and I felt that these kind of leaned more orange. That was definitely more ochre, but I went with the more orange one because my painting has some orange in it. It does have a lot of yellow ochre, but I had to make a choice, people, and that's what I chose. We are starting with the Faber-Castell Gelatos, and immediately, oh, they're so smooth and creamy, very enjoyable to use, and the website for them says that they are watercolor chalks that can be applied on a variety of different surfaces, like paper, fabric, canvas, and wood, thanks to their creamy, smooth consistency. Gelatos can be transformed into watercolor with a brush, we'll see about that, smudged with a finger, or stamped on. In addition to the wet techniques, gelatos can also be used for dry techniques. They impress with vibrant colors and easy application. So you can see in this time lapse here, I'm having no trouble at all putting the gelatos down on this paper. And remember, this is the Strathmore 500 paper that I do not like for watercolor. However, they are taking the dry application of the gelatos very nicely. I should say this paper is taking the dry application of these gelatos very nicely. You can see that I can get nice dark colors. The purple in this set, the dark purple, is very dark, which actually works to the advantage of this little painting. And it takes no time at all to fill in this entire piece of paper, 6.5 by 6.5 inches. And I'm waiting until the very end to put water on all of these so you can see them all dry next to each other. And this one, I am moving on to the Marabu Art Crayons, and immediately I was like, oh my goodness, this is a whole different world than even the gelatos. They are so much smoother, so much softer, so much easier to use. And the Marabu Art Crayons say that they are a buttery smooth wax-based soft pastel in a sturdy, fully loaded, retractable holder with an ergonomic grip and a clear protective cap. A versatile medium that's suitable for a variety of fine art and mixed media work. Art crayons work well on raw or primed surfaces such as paper, canvas, fabric, or wood, and you can create rich textural solids at 100%, blend and stamp colors for beautiful backgrounds, or brush with water for transparent effects or reductive techniques like wipe stenciling. And they are wipe resistant after 24 hours and not washable. Moving on to the Caran D'Ache Neocolor IIs. These are water soluble. These are really interesting. They definitely felt more dry than the previous two subjects, obviously. And the website says about these that they are water soluble wax oil pastel. Wow, that's weird. Soft, velvety texture, creating no dust, superior covering power, excellent light fastness, bright colors, and they are for dry or wet drawings on any type of material: paper, cardboard, glass, wood, leather, fabric, stone, watercolor, coating, glazing, scraping, soaking, ink wash, monotype, solid painting, rainbow technique, application on light panels. That is word for word from their website. And I really liked these. I felt like I could get a good laydown of color without having to press too terribly hard. I didn't feel like I had to push and push to get pigment out, and you'll see what they look like when the water adds to them. Moving on to the Derwent Aquatone, and when I was using these, I'm like, yeah, these are basically just a watercolor pencil, and I am correct in that the website says that they are water soluble, a solid stick of watercolor, produce delicate watercolor washes, a peel-off wrapper, 24 colors, although I only have the 12, and that you can have 4 times more usable material than a wood-cased pencil. It's a stick of pure water-soluble color, and it can be used wet or dry. You can apply broad sweeps of color in seconds. And out of the 4 mediums we're trying here, the 4 different kinds of watercolor media here, I would say this one is the least like the others. It's still really cool. I love how it turns out in the end, but it is different. I had to press very hard to get the color laydown that I wanted. I still really like them. They are an extinct art supply, however you can find them on eBay, so I am going to keep them around. I'll put them in my little raffle bin for using supplies up and go from there. Hey, here they are, dry. I'm sure you can see the big difference between the gelatos and the crayons versus the Neocolors and the Aquatones. So these are definitely more hard. So let me get you up close and personal here. Hang on. There we go. So Aquatone, Neocolor IIs, Gelatos, and the Marabu Art Crayons. Pretty interesting. Let's add water and see what we think. We are starting in the same order that we did dry, and these are the Faber-Castell Gelatos, and they are not re-wetting. They are not smoothing out. I cannot get them to budge, at least not up in the sky. So I switch over to the Marabu Art Crayons, and you can see the immediate difference here. These Marabu Art Crayons, oh, they just blend and smooth so easily, so fast. So I go back to these gelatos right here, and I'm like, well, surely they have to blend, and some of them do. So I think the sky I did the day before, and I don't think if you want these to blend, you should let them sit overnight. No way, no how. And the Marabu Art Crayons did say that they would kind of set after 24 hours, but the Faber-Castell Gelatos didn't say anything like that, so I wasn't worried about it, but obviously there is a problem. Do not let these sit. So here I'm moving back to the Marabu Art Crayons, and they're just moving so easily. I can tell you guys, these are a pleasure to work with. Now, if you want to keep lights and brights, be careful. Don't put too much pigment because these really spread out, and you can see that I did lose a lot of highlights. I can add those back in later, which I'll show you at the end of the video, but they just move. They are amazing, and they're really fun. You go to lay them down initially, and it's like, wow. And you don't even have to blend them for them to look really incredible. So this is the Caran D'Ache Neocolors. Oh my gosh, look at how they blend. Do you guys see this? They are so darn pretty. I am just thrilled to pieces with these Neocolor IIs. So if you're on the fence about getting these, I highly recommend them. They are a different whole different ball game than the Marabu Art Crayons. You can have a lot more control with these, but their blending is a very similar experience when you add water. So if you want the more control, get these. If you want faster, quicker coverage, get the Marabu Art Crayons. Out of all 4 of these mediums, these 2 are my favorite for very different reasons. So the Marabu Art Crayons for their just smooth, oh, so good feel, blendy consistency, and the Neocolor IIs for their control and how bright and vibrant and pigmented they are and how easily they blend with water. Now we've moved on here to the Derwent Aquatone, and you can see they blend very pretty also. So they are not out of the ball game, and in fact they have a more subtle blend. They keep the paper shining through a little bit better. So I definitely feel like they have their place in your life. However, I don't have a lot of experience with other just regular watercolor pencils. So these could be comparable to other watercolor pencils. I have several other brands of watercolor pencils, just regular watercolor pencils. So I will add this to the list to compare with just regular watercolor pencils and see what I think. But these I'm keeping around, and you can see they're just completely different. All right, coming back to the Faber-Castell Gelatos, I'm going to try a colorless blender for an alcohol marker and see if maybe that will blend it, because it's just not cooperating. Oh, there is liquid in there. This one just feels kind of dry. Let me try the Prismacolor. I haven't used these in a long time. It's working, but this is requiring some effort. I'm sure you can hear that over the camera. Jeez. Not to mention, so nice and stinky. Look at all the mess we're getting on the marker. That's alright. That's what they're for, right? Anyway, I've used these colorless blenders before with colored pencils, and they work pretty decently with that, but this seems like it's not that liquidy either, because these Prismacolors are so old. Wow, this is just really uncooperative. Isn't that interesting? Let's see how it blends some of the more fresh gelato down here. Not really any better. Oh man. Alright, well, I don't think I'm going to spend more time on that one. I don't know why we had such good luck in the Etcher sketchbook with these gelatos, but this one, not so much. Alright, let's get them all next to each other. Well, here are the 2 that are more creamy, the gelatos versus the art crayons. So I guess if you like that chunky look still, it is still quite striking. This is just smooth and creamy. I was actually curious if I could put white. Oh yeah, I could put white right over this and get some of those highlights back if I want to. Wow. These art crayons are quite fun. Okay, well, good to know, good to know. What about the gelatos? Let's try the white on the gelatos real quick. Well, since it didn't blend, it actually kind of looks cool. Kind of looks better. Yeah, the gelatos, the white goes right over it again. So I can get highlights back with the gelatos just as easily. Just don't know why they're not blending. And then the 2 that are more pencil-like. So the Neocolor IIs, that's the one on the left there, they definitely look, I don't know, more colorful, more pigmented. This is a much softer look though, and it's actually quite pretty. And where I didn't have a lot of pigment, it kept a highlight looking area, and I do like it. All right, let's see all 4 of them together. Okay, I dropped a drop of water on this, and it actually pulled the whole pigment up, which is interesting. So that's where that drop of water was, and these are very much pigmented with water. That's the Aquatone. Alright, back to what we were doing here. There's all 4 together. Which one do you guys like the most? You want to see them up close again? There's the Aquatone, the Neocolor Gelatos, and the Marabu Art Crayons. They all look different. It's very cool. That was so fun, and I really hope that was helpful to you guys. Alright, I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for puppies and bloopers. Bye for now. He's so big. He grew just in a few days. Aw. Hi, baby. Aw. You're so cute. Are you so cute? Are you so cute? Yeah, you're so cute.